So much is expected of Nigeria's new president, Bola Tinubu, following his swearing in as 16th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Expectations are in high demand, revamping the country's economy. Tinubu vowed as he's swearing in on Monday to expand the economy by at least 6%, lift barriers to investment, create jobs and unify the exchange rate, while also tackling rampant insecurity. As he hits the ground running, Nigerians expect credible appointments into key areas of the leadership in order to achieve this presidential agenda. So joining us now from Abuja Studio is Professor Rukevwe Ugwumba, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress and professor of medicine and family health based in Canada. Great to see you, Prof. And good to see you again, Prof. Rufai talking to you. Funny enough, we share a mutual friend. We share a mutual friend in common, Tony Ayitana. And so I'm sure you know Tony Ayitana. Wow. Yeah, so he's a mutual friend. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, and happy birthday to you. Let's go straight to it. Let's set the agenda.
Oh.
Yeah, happy birthday to you. All right.
Okay.
Let's set the.
Thanks, Rufai. I really appreciate that.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you so much. So let's set the agenda. It is supposed to be a honeymoon period for our new president, President Tinubu, but he has to deal with a crisis situation now. I'm sure while you were trying to get here, you saw what's on the ground. Queues everywhere and all of that. Subsidy is gone, that statement. Yes, we want subsidy to be gone. And I think a lot of people misconstrue the argument. I want subsidy to be gone because it has no basis, we can't sustain it, but the way at which we do it is what matters. All right? A lot have advocated for a phased removal, setting up a framework for it. I mean, what do you say about this touching national issue as we speak? Because this is the first challenge in front of the Commander-in-Chief as we set an agenda for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Rufai?
Yes, I can hear you.
There's a
Go
little
ahead.
bit of a lag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Tony's my bosom brother. I mean, we grew up together in Warri as kids. From nursery school, I've known Tony. Great guy, great family. Anyways, thanks for the birthday wish. Yes, it's really serious business now for Nigerians. And I think as Shiraju's come on the 29th of May, we're expecting something powerful. We got it. This issue of subsidy has been deviling Nigerians for decades, and it's wasted a lot of income and a lot of poor accountability for how the money is spent. And then there's renewed hope because, of course, a few days ago we saw the Dangote refinery, which hasn't really started producing, commissioned. And so there's lots of reasons why Mr. President will be bold enough to say I'm taking out subsidy because it's actually killing our economy. And in fact, in this budget, there is nothing in place for it. And yes, it means that we're going to dig deeper again and it will bite harder. We saw that before he actually got elected, there was still subsidy, there was severe queues, scarcity of fuel in Warri, for example, where I vote. Well, I live and I vote in Ugwumba. It was 650 per liter, in some instances, and it was really biting hard, and nobody could do anything. And actually, the prices of goods haven't come down since the elections as a result of that artificial scarcity. So I think what Mr. President tried to do now is to come in front of it and, get rid of it and reinvent the wheel and, see where we will land. And I'm sure there'll be measures for, palliatives, if you will, austerity measures or, some other measures because, he's Jagaban and he's a very good strategist and he has thought this through. Okay. So yes, it's going to be difficult initially, but I think we're going to be all better off for it. All right. And like you said, we've been asking and wanting this subsidy gone for a long time.
All right, thanks, Professor Ugwumba. Now, expectations are high, all eyes on the president. Before he took the oath of office and during his campaign, it had been spelled out a number of times that Nigerians are looking forward to a president and a tenure that will turn around the fortunes of Nigerians for what we've seen in the past few years. One area is security. And during his inaugural speech, the president had said that he would make security priority. In terms of expectations, as a chieftain of the APC, what should we be looking forward to in terms of security? Because to be honest, the announcement on the removal of fuel subsidy has sort of eclipsed what he had mentioned would be a highlight of his administration, which is security. We have a security issue in Nigeria at the moment. How does he begin to solve that? What should Nigerians look forward to?
Yes. Security is information, and we know where these bandits are, or these bad boys are, if you will. There's a lot of, telecommunications, and even satellite imaging, and so many GIS, so many ways in which we can find the people that are doing these crime. I remember once when an American was, kidnapped. Was in Ghana, took him to Chad and back to Nigeria. A single American, and in a very short time, he was rescued. So that means, you can't take hundreds of people and we don't know where they are. So it just takes the will and the infrastructure, the technology, and just, the know-how. We know that, blocking all the loopholes, will actually make this very easy. I know recently there was the codes that would change from the MTN so that all the networks will have the same codes, and they said that would reduce, improve the way they can track people. And we know that if you don't have a NIN, for example, you can't really use your lines in the way that you should. So all these are security implementation, why they implemented all these things. So we have a very high expectation. This is a man who wants to improve the lives of Nigerians by increasing, investment, increasing productivity locally. And we know that security is everything. You can't even bring foreign investors, even if we that live in Nigeria don't feel safe to go out, So I know that it's difficult to just say exactly by what percentage it will be improved by, but I know in the next 100 days, Nigerians will begin to feel a lot more secure. And, there was talking about, neighborhood watch and, intelligence gathering, because, you can have everything. And if people are hiding people, then obviously we won't find them easily. And so the, I would say traditional rulers and, local people in the communities, it will take all of us to be able to tackle this effectively. I know it can be done.
Yes.
Because in lots of places all over the world, we know that these people want to harm people, and they can't because we intercept them, and it can be done in Nigeria.
Yes,
so I know
absolutely.
I have hope for that.
Yes. My dear sister and friend, Ruki, happy birthday. Just like Rufai said, happy birthday and many happy returns. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's move into the realm of the things that really are of great interest to you. You're a professor of medicine and family health. One of the things that's being said is health is wealth. We had a very robust and very interesting engagement on the issue of fuel subsidy and how it's going to affect people's lives. But what will affect people's lives even more is primary health across Nigeria is dysfunctional, is almost non-existent in most rural areas. What is the agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with regards health? We know what is on the manifesto. You're part of the APC stall. You're one of the APC stalwarts. What are you guys discussing and saying the president has got to do and do urgently?
Yes, like you nailed it. It's primary health, because primary health is the bread and butter of medicine. So primary means, initial prevention before you go to secondary and tertiary. And so we need to get this right at the primary health agency, development agency. Means that, you lived in England, Kayode, so you know that you can't just jump into, university teaching hospital. You have to go to your GP first. And when you're at the GP, he's going to find out things like your blood pressure was high, even though you came there for a rash, because they'll do your vitals and things like that. And that could prevent you having a stroke. So yes, these agencies won't work. The budgeting and the funding of the health sector has been really, really inadequate. I know there was the 1% of the consolidated budget, annual budget to go to health. It has never achieved that. And this has been done, I think, since Goodluck Jonathan's time, where they made it into law. And so we haven't ever achieved that. Okay. For example, I was a special advisor in Delta State, and we had over 400 primary health centers. And when there was another constituency project, for example, from the National Assembly, they will build another health center. Whereas the ones that were existing have not been properly utilized for various reasons. Some as simple as a fence. They don't feel safe at night, and so they can't utilize it. So a woman may die giving birth at home than go to the health center, for example. And of course, we know if you don't get, if there's a complicated birth and you don't get urgent attention, poor outcomes for maternal, the mother and child. And so what am I saying? Budgeting, funding of healthcare must be a priority of this government, and examining what's existing rather than building new ones. So for example, we need personnel. So no matter what you build, it can't run itself. You got to have the, community health extension workers, the nurses, the doctors, and all the support staff. And yes, the ambulance services as well. So for example, something bad is happening somewhere and there's no means of getting there. For example, in the hinterlands, Delta State, for example, let me use an example, we have a lot of riverine areas, and many of those places have no functional health centers, or even if they were there was no staff to man them. And so these are the things that we need to look at, the gaps, how we will make the healthcare system robust, starting from the primary centers. Because if you go to, for example, National Hospital Abuja, you may get all the specialty, but you may have died just on the way there because it took so long to stabilize you. And of course, let's not talk about road traffic accidents or even a man drops on the road because he had a heart attack. So many things. So what I'm saying is this president needs to look at the health from the primary setting. And there's a lot that can be done there for very little, and not necessarily building new things, but making the existing ones robust, equipping them, staffing them, and of course, providing medication for them. And of course, immunizations and things of primary health settings. Yes.
I mean, it's good to say it because the healthcare sector, and I'm happy you made mention of primary healthcare sector, is in dire straits as we speak. It's comatose. Can I use the word as dead as dodo? The former minister.
Rukevwe.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. And I'm going to give, when I give you the stats, you will confirm that it's as dead as dodo, the primary healthcare system in Nigeria. The former minister, I think for states, for science, Olorunnipe Mamora, who is somebody that should know better, said that out of the 30,000 primary healthcare centers in Nigeria, not up to 10% are working effectively. And that's the country we live today. As we speak today, I'm happy you're from Delta. I have associations too with Delta State. I was born in Warri. I'm a proper Warri boy. Is there an ambulance service if I'm having an heart attack in Ekakpamre to call? And where's the number as we speak today? Nothing of such. Even most of the monies expended to rehabilitate those primary healthcare centers, they are not used. And when you go back to check the project, there's little or next to nothing. I mean, I stayed in the hinterlands in Delta. I stayed in Ugwumba at a point. And I know what is obtainable on ground. And that is also what is, pervasive across. But I'm sure you're shocked to hear a Yoruba man call Ugwumba so well. That's what is pervasive across.
That's so well. I'm impressed. You're a Warri boy.
Yeah, that is what is pervasive across board. So what will be, the way to turn things around? Owing to the fact that we have meager resource, very meager resource. And you will reckon with me, it's as dead as nothing happens there.
Yeah. Rukevwe, I mean, like I said, it's very, very sad. For example, our governor is a physician, is a medical doctor. He was actually the, chairman committee on health and Senate before he became a governor. And it's, like you said, where's the ambulance service? I mean, why are all these health centers not functioning? Why are we building new structures when the existing ones can be reinforced, and wasting money on buildings wouldn't serve the populace? So these are real issues. It's very sad for me. Like I said, a lot of people will die from a road traffic accident, not because we don't know what to do, but we can't get them there. We can't give them blood. There's no available blood bank and blood services, things like that. So all these are preventative medicine, which we can do something about, even with what is existing. So I'm saying that the budget can be properly better applied, And we need to look where the gaps are. It's not acceptable that we don't have a functioning 911 or 999, a unified number in Nigeria, where if I'm in Osun State or Lagos or Warri, I don't need to know a special number. All over the world, there's a special, there's just one number for emergency. And when you call the number, they'll ask you police, fire service, or ambulance. So, that unified, then they triage you from there. We don't have that, and that is a huge problem. So yes, this is a president who has lived abroad, schooled abroad, and he frequents abroad, and so he knows how things obtain there. He knows the standards that we can have there. The good news is Nigeria is still a very wealthy country. I know that we can talk about debt and we can talk about inflation and all of that, but we are very resourceful people. We can bring the investment in, like you said. If we get the security right, if we get the energy sector right, we have a lot of people. We are just a virgin land for investment, and Nigerians are hardworking. Contrary to what people think, most Nigerians are not so dishonest. Nigerians are hardworking, honest people.
Okay.
And most Nigerians don't like dash. They want to earn their living. So when things start to work properly, everything will translate. And like you said, health is wealth. And so if we're not healthy, we can't even go to work. If you cannot eat and digest your food properly, how can you think? So
thank you for speaking to health. I mean, some people might challenge you on the statement that Nigeria is wealthy, but if you talk about in resources, absolutely. But let me talk to you about women and young people. The president hasn't minced words in saying that his government would be very inclusive in terms of involving women and young people actively. What are you looking forward to? How should this translate in terms of appointments, in terms of policies and programs for women and young people?
Yes, I'm very, very excited about this president. One of the things he said, he was going to give women 35% on seat, direct leadership positions. And I know he's going to do that. I'm talking about a president whose wife has been a serving senator, not once, not twice. And, so this is the president, this is the most, let's just say the highest level of first lady that we're going to ever see in Nigeria. And so this is a man who believes in a working wife. And I know that all her experience will be brought to bear in guiding Mr. President, including women. I'm a woman, I'm a physician, politician, and we have a lot to offer. And I would say we should give us equal work for equal pay, and even use the statistics to hire us. But we'll take our 35%. So I'm excited for the women, I'm excited for the youth. We know that in a short minute we're going to see a slew of appointments come on board. And we will easily put, you can call me again to ask me, look at these appointments, show me your 35%. It's very easy to work that out.
Okay, we'll try to get across to her, Professor Rukevwe Ugwumba, but we'll take a short break, and when we return, welcome back to the morning show. So we'll quickly go back to Professor Rukevwe once again. I think you should just round up your thought before we wrap things up this morning. Yeah. And sorry about the cut there. Just wrap up your talk.
Okay, so my thoughts for Nigerians is we have a new government. It's the government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is a man who said, this is my turn. He wants to do things. He wants to leave a legacy, and he wants to hit the ground running. So I'm just asking Nigerians to be patient. There's lots of things that will be hard before they get easy. I want Nigerians to encourage this government. We know that the elections are over. We know there's some things in court, but support your government. Pray for your president. Let him go to work as he said he would. We believe that Nigerians are resilient. Nigerians will get through the hard part so that we can get the easy landing. Everything will work together for good. As a Christian, as a Muslim, as a true Nigerian, doesn't matter your religion, whether you're male or female, just come out and support this government. We know that for sure everything will end well for us. In a very short time, in the next 100 days, we can be doing the assessments again. But beyond that, just coming for the long haul. And this is my plea to Nigerians. Be patient. Women, get on board. Youth, get on board. And I'm very happy with Mr. President, who said, even if you didn't vote for me, I'm still president for all Nigeria. All I can see are Nigerians. I'm not seeing APC or PDP or LP or any other party. Let's take him for his word. That will be my final appeal to all of us.
All right. Thank you so much.